Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So some of you would have been following along with our 100 series FTE build, and you might remember we were putting some pretty crazy power through that. It was making 800 Newton meters at the four wheels and about 300 horsepower. It was 230 kilowatts or something. So yeah, this is her now. That one. Yeah, she's not good. Long story short, it was making way too much power for stock bottom end bearings, and it let a bearing go. So today we're going to look at the damage that happened to that and why it happened, how to prevent that in the future, and we're going to go through a little series of making building a transplant FTE to put back in here. So I won't go into heaps of detail about taking an engine out of a car because it is pretty simple. Obviously just make sure you take your batteries out first, get rid of your big bulky stuff like your airbox. You need to take anything out that connects from the engine to the car, very obviously. So stuff like power steering lines, you'll need to take your radiator and fan hub out of the way so you can get the engine out. I took all those intake crossover pipes off so we had a bit of room to get to the, like the gearbox and stuff. Everything like that needs to come off so that this engine can come out of the engine bay. Well, there you go. Many hands make light work. We got that FTE out in about half a day.
You can't, because that's the pickup. What you're looking at is
I can see the rod, the cap. Yeah, I could see the cap down there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Might even be able to grab it from this side. Should be able to see through there. Hey Ben, give us a wave through the other side. Yeah, she's stuck. So we decided to pull the sump off this engine and further inspect some of the other bearings from other conrods just to see what the general feel was. Was it just a freak accident that one bearing gave way and caused a rod bolt to snap, or is this the case for all of them? And of course on further inspection we found out that it seemed that most, if not all of the bearings were well and truly on their way out.
That's why they
That's got burred edges and everything on it.
So that is why you don't keep stock 630,000 old bearings in a souped up engine. All right guys, so we've had a chance to have a look and inspect the damage on this FTE that came out of the 100 series. And well, this was the bearing that we found on the side of the road when it did go bang in exactly this condition. So it's not looking real good at all. And in the sump, we found this remainder of conrod number 5. So upon further inspection, we pulled one of the big end caps off, another piston, like another conrod, one that was doing fine, and this is what we found. So it's very clear that the culprit for this mess was that the bearings were not changed when we did all the mods to this. And obviously when an engine's making more power, it's going to be wearing things out faster. So what we really should have done was put race bearings in this, or at least new bearings in this engine when we did that. So we have done that to this engine over here, as we'll see later on in this little series. But for now, the culprit was the bearings. So please change your bearings at least once before you hit 630,000 kilometers. And especially if you're going to really try and get some power out of your FTE or any engine you might be modifying. So there you go. I think that sums up the first video for this little mini series that I'm going to be doing. So what to expect from the next few videos is that we'll be tearing this engine apart, taking all the stuff that's still good off that and putting it on this engine back here that I've already put a fair bit of work into, but now it's going in Dad's 100 series. So we'll be looking at how we have cleaned that up in the next few videos, painted it, we've put all new gaskets in it. I'll be trying to go into as much detail as I can in all of that, so that if you're ever doing a little job on your FTE, you can see exactly what's going on, because it's obviously a really good opportunity to take video while the FTE is out of the engine bay. Everything's easy to see, it's easy to access and work on, so that's what to expect from this little mini series here. And then obviously we'll be chucking it back in the 100 series and yeah, seeing how it goes. So I'm really excited for this. This is my first ever real big engine rebuild kind of project. So yeah, it should be interesting. Obviously I'm pretty new to this, so hear me out, but I'll be doing lots of research and providing resources that I use along the way when it comes to the rebuilding process, and hopefully we'll have a really cool finished product. So anyway, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video of this series.